Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley. I have to learn to speak up because with the changes in technology, sometimes the microphones are a little less powerful. I'm noticing that with this one. So I have to speak a little bit closer to the microphone. Okay, how's that? All right. So this is episode 14 of What You Can Do Now in the New Energy for Personal Evolution. And as we got a hint in with Aliene in the last channeling, this one is more about how do you how do you know for others? Just want to get my words proper. So let's see what the suggestions are for that. I like this new attunement. I'm going to do it as a practice for getting a new level of validation at the high heart level. I like that. I'm going to play with that. So these are just the things that she suggests are suggestions. You can do them or not. But I always find they're helpful. I do all this. If it's suggested, I do it. And I'm not saying you have to, but it's fun. And it'll get you more in tune with your inner spirit body and your knowing and your sensing. And that's not a bad thing. All right. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. It is Alienio Cosmic Service, a Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. This day, we indeed are going to talk about the same subject, but in a different way. We're going to talk about the two levels you have within your heart to attune to something for others. Let's say you're a healer or a body worker or a medical person or even a financial person who has the awareness of people coming to you for help. Or sometimes family members go to other family members for help. When someone is seeking that opinion of another, that advice, that help to make a decision. Sometimes people just outright want someone to tell them what to do. But you're here learning how to create and how to have that knowing within yourself is part of the, believe it or not, the plan. So when it comes to others, this is where it's always a very good idea to make that attunement directly to the Creator, to the divine intelligence of the Creator that knows the greater good of all, that knows that soul, that knows that understanding, and to ask first for guidance in helping that other person. And so you might not even know someone's coming up to talk to you in a public thing or at a social gathering or at a meeting or in an appointment they have with you or whatever it is. But in that moment, in just a second, you can put that intention in the heart. Get to that heart space and put that intention in. That it be for their greater good of all in alignment with the creative source. And that's an easy thing to do. And just if 60% of the population of the earth did that, you wouldn't have any problems. It would melt them all away, as strange as that may sound, because it would bring in new levels into everyone's soul. So we highly recommend that you add this as a practice, even if it's just for you. So that's one level that because if you're going to notice, this thing that we said in the last episode is now going to be done in reverse. So when it comes to others, you do the Creator first. And then you ask your soul and higher self to come on in and give you the validation, the understanding, the ahas, the feelings, the ideas, whatever it is you need. Because, as this one likes the term, you here in a body with this awareness are the creator being of your soul, the creator being, B-E-I-N-G. You are a being, you have a consciousness, and this body is temporal. It's with you for a while and then it's not, but your consciousness and you continue. Maybe not with the individual awareness you have in this body as you, but it still continues in its own way. And that continuity, as we said, is going to increase lifetime to lifetime now, even more so. So if you are attuning to that higher self and soul, and you're asking for the greater good of others, after you've asked the Creator for the same first, then your soul and your higher self will percolate in to their creator being what it is that needs to be done. Now, how is it you can have a higher self that is partly the karmic Akash and partly connected to soul? Because as we said in I can't remember if it's Heart Trail Evolution or What You Can Do Now in the last 2 episodes, we said that just as you in your individual body have a body level awareness, an eye awareness, the eye conscious awareness, and a group awareness, you do with the higher self. You have an individual awareness of the higher self, that's the karmic Akash side, and you have the group level of the higher self, and that is the side that's connected to the soul. But it also, at the higher level of nations, large family groups, and tribes, which is what has worked in the great global healing parties, you have a little bit of a karmic Akash there also. So the higher self has these 3 different directions. It has your individual karmic Akash of what you're learning. We don't like the word karma so much. We like the word life lessons. And then it has your higher group level life lessons as groups. And then it has your soul connections where it can get direct impulses from the soul to bring in benevolence. Thoughts, words, deeds, a radiant energy, a feeling in your heart of validation, or however that comes for you based on practice and in the new energy. And so this is something we think that is very good to understand, that when it comes to asking for yourself, you ask your higher self and soul and then the creator, because then you get to a creational level. But when it comes to others, you always ask the creator first at the creational level, because how do you know what's for the best from them? You don't. And then you ask your higher self and soul to be a part of that. And that's an interesting flip-flop. And this one's already in the background going, wait a minute, if we go all the way up to the periphery of the planet and we go all the way down to the center of the earth, this must be a flip-flop of that. And it is. Good job, this one. It is exactly that. The greater good of all is around the periphery of the planet. Your individual little karmic Akash is around the center of the planet. Isn't that fascinating? So by tuning into your higher self and soul first, it's more vibrations that go down. And we're not talking about earth energy, cosmic energy, or any of the many other types of energy systems and patterns within the body. We're talking about the central column interdimensional DNA and its alignments, just to be clear. So when it comes to higher self and soul, your little part is around the center of the planet. When it comes to the group, it's around the outer part of the planet, where people call that the noosphere. And we've spoken about that in some other episodes. So that's the bigger explanation of that. And that is why we do it this way for individuals and this way for groups. And it just is almost just that order is almost like an intention on what level you're going to. Isn't that fascinating? Energetically. It is an intention that sends energy one way versus the other. So that's what we have to say about that. The final thing we wish to say about this idea of why we do it this way for others is there's another thing you can do in your intention. You ask that it be for the best and highest good of them and for others when you put the alignment to the creator first, because that basically kind of puts the creator level at both levels, individual and group. So it gets the creator level at the individual person's Akash and at their group Akash, or their group life lessons. And it also calls in a little bit more of their soul mission on what they're here to do. Because every person on the planet has a little mission. This is true. This one explored it a lot and found it a lot in the Akashic records of old, that it's been taught and taught and taught as long as there's been teaching of the spiritual nature. It's very old information, that you have the things you're learning and the things of the higher self and soul and creator that you're here to do. For everyone contributes something, and everyone has purpose, and everyone counts, even if it seems that they're in a lifetime where they don't. On some level, they're still fulfilling a purpose and a mission of their soul, even if it looks like they are just not even in touch with any of that. even if it looks that they're at the rock bottom of the darkness of their soul, there is still a higher thing going on. And that's what we wish you to know this day. It's an interesting thing to contemplate, that everyone has a purpose and a mission. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu.